Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me for another special health focus Tai Chi and Qigong class. Let's take right hand in fist, please. Left hand straight, feet together, hands together, and we salute. Lovely to have you with. Okay, so let's open our stance, please, and we'll begin with our four corner rotations. And breathe. Take notice how you feel. Let's do 10 more. Very well done. Change direction, please. Keep the top of the head nice and light. Chin slightly down and back. Ten more. Good, and rest. Let's ease out of the stance, have a little shake out. Excuse me for a second, I have a bit of a precarious situation. There we go, that's the microphone. Excellent, okay, so in class yesterday I was talking about the benefits of a vibration plate for people with MS, that one of our members, Pam, was saying how excellent that they are, and sent a wee link that I have shared around to all of my MS classes. So I wanted to show you a wee exercise for when you don't have a vibration plate that may help you sort of simulate, is that the right word? To give you a similar vibration. Now, of course, we all know the heel tap exercise, the Bai Bing Shao exercise with the heel taps. And that is a very good, I think, simulation because it is sending a little judder through the body. In fact, sometimes it's known as spinal jolts in English, which I don't think is a very nice name. It sounds a little bit scary, but it does send that little reverberation up through the spine, as well as all of the other tissues. But I'm going to show you another wee exercise that's less scary. I mean, I don't think spinal jolts or the heel taps are scary, but this is even more gentle. And all it is, if you stand shoulder width, I'm going to stand quarter on so that you can see. We're going to straighten one leg, not lock it back, but just have it a little bit more straight, and bend the other leg just a little bit. And then you're going to swap that over and bend one leg, the other leg, and keep the other straight. So you're just continuously bend straight, bend straight, bend straight, bend straight. And at that speed, you might think, well, what are you on about? That is not vibrating anything, but we speed it up. So we just, like you're pedaling a bike, speed it up. And keep the belly and the hips nice and loose. Bend straight, bend straight, bend straight, bend straight. And it is a coordination exercise as well, because you want to go a little bit quicker. Keep nice and loose, and a little bit quicker. And it can take a little bit of practice to then get to the stage that probably you can't see what I'm doing. with this technology, but can you hear it in my voice? I have created my own little vibration plate. So I'm bend straight, bend straight, bend straight, bend straight, very, very fast. And it is sending a vibration through my entire body. So if I slow it down again, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Do you see how subtle the movement is? It's not massive. And obviously, as you get faster, it becomes more and more subtle until you can't even see it, I doubt, on technology, but you can hear it in my voice, maybe. Good. So that's something that you can play with. And that is courtesy of belly dancing. So that's a belly dancing move. So you can imagine if you're wearing a lovely glittery spangled belt, that you would see the wobbly flesh of the belly juddering around. And belly dancing is all about the allure of wobbling flesh. So yeah, so I I like belly dancing, but only to do as exercise. But there you go. So something to play with for helping to send that vibration through the body. But it's also a really nice wee exercise to do for leg strength and a coordination exercise to practice, because as you progress, you'll be able to go quicker and quicker and quicker. Maybe at the beginning, if you're not used to it, have a platform or something to hold on to, just in case, I don't know, just in case your legs give out on you. But really, really lovely exercise, and it creates a sensation of release when you've finished. I think very similar to the vibration plate, that it works the muscles in such a way that afterwards your body goes, oh, and you can actually relax. So if there are any spasmodic muscles, if there are any things that have gone into a kind of spasm or spasticism, then doing the likes of that exercise, oh, you can actually see it better maybe from the front, doing that exercise where you are shimmying, sending a little ripple through your body, it can actually really help to release those spasms and help everything find its natural balance. Good, okay, so let's go back to something a little bit more gentle as we turn and pat. The Chinese drum exercise. This is a lovely exercise. Now at the moment I'm doing the sort of more vigorous or intermediate vigorous version. You can do a wide stance, a deep stance, a high stance. But actually what we finish with in Chen style is this very, very soft version, where remember we keep the hips facing forwards, but we're turning in the center. And the arms are like water. Now the idea with this exercise, even though the arms are moving, it's a very center-based exercise. It's actually directing the energy into the center as we turn. So it's a really lovely wee exercise. I've got to say, folks, today I took another little dose of CBD oil, cannabinoid oil, which is not to be confused with the druggy aspect of the product of marijuana, but this is from cannabis, same plant, and you can get it in health food shops, and it's well, I think it can be used for many reasons, but it's fantastic for arthritis. And I have been incredibly arthritic recently. My hips and tops of legs, my back a little bit, and my big toes. And I took a dose, it's 15 drops of this oil under the tongue, and you're meant to hold it for 15 minutes. And I could not believe the difference after 15 minutes. Ease from your stance, please. I actually felt that I had never been that smooth and comfortable moving in my body ever. Not just giving me relief for now, but I was doing that hip rotation exercise going, I don't think that's ever been that smooth. Is that what it's meant to feel like? Because for me it's always been a bit kind of like grinding a pestle on a mortar. There's always been that feeling of gravel and not restriction, but discomfort. And it was amazing. Everything just felt like greased ball bearings. It moved ever so well. So, anytime I've talked about CBD with people, the CBD oil, because I've only really used it a few times, but always recently with great success, I say to them, look, the taste is not very nice. It's quite yucky, but the results are brilliant. And I got a student saying to me in one class, but do you have to keep taking it? And I'm like, well, yeah. It's a bit like asking, do you need to keep eating healthy food? I was like, well, yes. If you want the benefits of it, you probably will have to keep taking it, though it does seem to have a cumulative effect. As I say, I don't take it very often at all. I've maybe taken it 3 or 4 times, but each time it has really, really helped. So the thing is, when you get such amazing results, I don't care what it tastes like at all. It's like, if you really are in need of something, you're prepared to put up with slight inconveniences. So if you have arthritis, like me, or worse, I would highly recommend it. It's, as I say, I didn't even know that a human body could feel that comfortable. just mechanically, it was moving very, very well. So there you go, there's my opinion on it. Let's go on to one foot and gently rotate down through a leg and lace the fingers. I'm not saying it's a cure-all or anything like that, I don't know, because there are certain things that I've used in the past and still use that are incredible. For example, arnica ointment, and I'm very brand loyal. So they're not paying me, but Wellida, it's I think a German brand. Change direction, please. They're amazing for any kind of injury, basically, where the skin isn't broken. So, if you've bashed something or you've torn something or any kind of, shake out please on the other side, any kind of injury, or even just that you've done an exercise form that you're not used to doing or moved in a way you're not used to doing and the body is sore afterwards. Arnica is a game changer. It is amazing that you can rub it in, or you can also take it orally. When it comes to point, change please, that we rely on these things for whatever goes wrong. And when I slipped discs in my back in my 20s, I thought, well, I'll use arnica. No, it didn't do anything at all. It didn't seem to help in any way, which was very shocking because it had always seemed to help and work with everything else. So slipped discs, neuralgia or nerve pain, I don't know if arnica really is going to do anything. It certainly didn't help with my sciatica. But for other injuries, it's the one. It's definitely very good. Okay, folks, let's take a nice wide stance, please. And we're going to release belly, hips, and knees. And let's feed the weight over a little bit to one side and to the other side and to the other side. Now let's think of going around the back a little bit. So we're not just going straight across, but describing a curve around the back and around the back and around the back. Remember, Tai Chi doesn't really do straight lines. We're always moving in curves in some way or another. So this time, instead of doing the curve around the back, let's do the curve underneath. So it's like you're plowing the earth with your pelvis, going down and up, and down and up. Often in Yang style, there isn't much in the way of rise and fall. However, when it comes to snake creeps down, there is. We want to go down. And we don't want to go down by bending our back. We want to release belly, hips, knees, ankles and feet. So we're plowing the earth. Very good. Okay, so now let's take a hook and a hand and down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. Good. And rest. Well done, take a breath. Now, we were looking at block parry punch last week. And yeah, it can be a little tricky because of the change of direction. Let's have another look now. We'll do our little block parry punch sequence now to finish our warm-up. I think that repetitive movements are excellent for warm-up. They give our system a chance to get into the rhythm and help to warm the muscles and get the blood pumping in a continuous, smooth way. So let's do our block parry punch, or sometimes known as, well, in Chinese, known as Ban Lan Chui, block parry punch. Okay, so we're going to do it around in a circle, basically. So we do it one way and then we do it the other way. So if you get lost, don't worry, wait a couple of seconds, try again. Okay, so we're going to step forwards with the left foot. So we're all doing the same thing at this stage. As we do in the form, we're going to start in the same direction. So left hand and foot are forwards, and the right hand is forwards and up. Remember, we start in the hybrid position, so our body is open towards the back corner, as opposed to square in bow stance. We're open. Okay, and that makes it easier to turn to the back as we feed the weight back, turn on the heel, arms up. Feed the weight left and bring the right side down and in. Now lift the right side up and over, unfold, left hand comes down and pivot. Step through center and punch, pushing the right heel back, and we repeat the whole sequence, opening into the hybrid position. So actually the start position helps you get around. If you start square, it's incorrect anyway, but that means you further to turn. So it's an open position. Fan through back is opening your back. Ready? And weight right, toes in as far as you can. The foot will naturally hit the floor. Come in right. Up and over, step. Pivot, step through, and punch. Push the heel back and repeat. Fan through back. Ready? And turn. Left toes in, foot down. Right side swings down, comes in. Right side up and over. Left hand down. Pivot. Step through and push the heel back as you punch. Good. Again, please. Ready? And turn in. Swing. Come in. You can already start to turn before you lift the leg. So you're not just facing the back. Naturally, you'll start to turn. So you can almost turn as far as the corner and then lift and step. Pivot, step through and punch. And repeat. Ready? And arms up. Right side in. Right side up and over, left side down. Screw into the front leg and punch. And again. And up. Right side in. Start to turn, lift, unfold. Screw into the front foot, step through and punch. Again. And Can you feel the theme emerging of toes in and out? That's how we turn. We're in and out. Once more for luck, ready? And rest. Well done. Now, before we started class, I was having a conversation about how different teachers teach things slightly different ways. Even when like this form, it is a standardized form. That means that actually everyone in the world should be doing the 24 in exactly the same way. But it doesn't work that way at all, because we can't help it. We have our own understanding of the moves, we have our own expression of the moves. So even when we're trying to be cookie cutter Tai Chi practitioners, we just can't. And a teacher's understanding and their specific teaching, even though it may be from the same teacher as someone else, will come through in a unique way. So you may see this form done slightly differently, you may see this move done slightly differently, and it's not wrong. It's, there's a whole spectrum of variations which still fit into correct Tai Chi. In fact, really, when it comes down to it, if it performs martially, it's Tai Chi. I mean, that's a very broad umbrella to come under, but if you can justify it by application, it's Tai Chi. Whether it's actually sticking to the choreography of a standardized form, that's a different deal. But you may see variations, for example, that you round very quickly indeed. And actually that's not any different, that's not any different. It's just slightly exaggerated or slightly tweaked. So whichever way works for you, if it feels mechanically doable, and if you feel you can balance, you can tweak it a little bit yourself. But if in doubt, run it by a teacher. Okay, let us now, folks, have a look through the whole form. So I'll give you a wee second, please. Have a comfort break, have a wee sip of water if you want, and then we will begin our form. So I'm going to say cheers. I'm actually on just water today. Normally it's water and vinegar or lemon or something, but today just water, so enjoy. If you're so used to putting things in your drink, it's easy to forget that actually water is pretty nice. It's good stuff. We need it. Okay, folks, so let us go through the whole of the 24. We'll go at a reasonable pace. You know that even if you're very aware of all of the moves, it's actually, for a lot of people, easier to go a little bit quicker. Going a little slower might give you more time to polish and be more conscious of every little bit, but I think it's quite nice to play with the speed a little bit. So sometimes go quicker, see if you can just flow, see if you can get the movements, but not overly worry about them. And sometimes go that little bit more gradually and feel your way and make sure that every little I is dotted and every T is crossed. It's good to do that anyway, but let's go at a not very slow pace, so medium pace. Are we ready? Okay, lengthening up and relaxing down. Calm down. Ready, start. Feel the rhythm of the movements. We're going to keep doing Old Cat washes its face and now begin to step back. We added choreography for sitting rooms. Ready, keep going. Brush, knee, push. Right hug ball. I'm going to move. Ready? Grasping bird's tail. Good. High pat on horse. Separate, kick right, everything as one, up, everything as one, opens, square up, two bees buzzing, turning to the back, everything as one, comes up, everything as one, unfolds, hook, relax and expand for snake creeps down. Turn, turn, turn. Jade Maiden plays shuttles. I'm out of space, so I'll move back. And needle to sea bottom. Fan through back. Ban, lan, shui, block. Parry and punch. Apparent close up. Arms up and scoop. Close left and recover. Good. Now, seeing as this is our last class before Christmas, wouldn't it be lovely to finish the form? And we're so close because we've just done block, parry, punch. So we're at apparent close up, which is really the spelling of the end of the form, really. There's only a few more sort of tidy up moves left to go. So I'm going to show you facing you. I'm not mirroring, so I'm just doing after the punch. You'll have your left foot forwards. Apparent close up, the feet don't move, unlike Anne, which at the end of Grasping Bird's Tail. It has some of a similar look to Anne, but it's a different move. So we do not lift the front foot in this move. So I'm going to come a little closer because there's no footwork. You're just feeding the weight back and feeding the weight forwards. So I'm still on my left foot forwards. My right hand is punching and my left hand is bracing a little ball of energy at the forearm. So I'm not actually touching the forearm, I'm just like close to it. So it looks like I'm touching nearly, doesn't it? But I'm not, I'm close to. Little ball of energy, I don't know how to show you. There you go, see? I'm not touching. Okay, so the left hand comes underneath and the right hand opens. So both palms are facing up. And think of going around a ball. So we feed the weight back and the arms are coming around on a horizontal plane to the back of the ball. But even there, my hands are not touching my body. I'm 70% back as opposed to 100% back. Regardless of the size and shape of your body, do not touch, do not go all the way back. So we slide left hand under, right hand opens, and we feed the weight back and go around the ball and come in. So at this stage, we're at the back of the ball. The hands are at 45 degrees, so I'm not flat. I'm at the back of the ball. And then I feed the weight forwards and I go around the ball and close again. But I'm still palms facing out. I haven't turned my palms facing in. So it's like I've gone around the shape of a ball, but your palms, my palms are still facing out in that same 45-degree angle. They're not flat out, they're curved. So that's apparent close up. And the idea is that we're sealing our energy in. So the Chinese name for this move is Liu Feng Si Bi, which means 6 closing, 4 sealing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 closing, 4 sealing. So what are the 6 and the 4? Well, the 6 are the eyes count as 1, ears, nose, mouth, front and back exits of the body. That's your 6. So all of the major obvious orifices of the body, you think of closing. The 4 that are sealing are the ones that are exposed to the world most obviously. So again, the eyes, the ears, the nose and the mouth. So we're sealing, 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 closing all entrances and exits of the body. So you're maintaining the resonance of all the energy you've worked on. Just for a moment, you're holding that resonance not letting it leak out. So it helps you to retain the potency of the work that you have just done and the energy that you have just done. It is so important to learn. This is called defensive qi. So it's not just about self-defense with your body, all this kind of self-protection business. You also want to learn how to contain and protect your energetic efforts. If you don't do that, it can be, you can become like a leaky bucket. So you put a lot of effort into gaining the energy, but then it all just seems to dissipate and you don't seem to have benefited much at all. So Lil Feng Subi is a move specifically in this form, but it is also a practice that we use regularly in Tai Chi, both as this move, but also just as a concept. So you may not realize you've been doing it, but often at the end of the form, for example, or at the end of class, we take 3 breaths, and the last breath, we hold our breath, and we press our fingers into the sky, and we press our toes into the earth, and we hold. And then we let go and breathe out. So in yoga, they would call them locks. In Tai Chi, I call it Lil Feng Subi, apparent close-up, or 6, sealing, 4, closing. Interchangeable, you can say it the other way around. So the idea is at the end of your practice, you just hold. You can physically hold your breath. Sometimes people will actually squeeze their undercarriage. You can just think of like tying off a doggy bag. You're keeping the energy that you have worked so hard to cultivate. But even just holding your breath for a moment, or sometimes you'll see people just for a moment closing their eyes, just thinking, I'm sealing this in. I'm going to retain this resonance. It's not about creating stagnation, but just maintaining the resonance. And that's a mental thing as well as an energetic thing. So everything I have done now, I'm just keeping it for a moment. Yeah, it's in the bank, it's staying. Okay, so let's do the movement again. So right hand in fist, left hand bracing. We slide the left hand under right and open the right hand. We feed the weight back, go around the circumference of your circle, no wider than your shoulders, and in, think of sealing the back, and round and in, think of sealing the front. Good, and that is your Lil Feng Subi, or apparent close-up. So let's do it as we do in the form. We've got our left foot forwards, right hand has punched, left hand comes under, right hand opens, around the ball, seal in, around the ball, seal in. And you can hold your breath if you want, momentarily, just for a wee moment. Good. So that's apparent close-up. Now we just have to finish the form. So we feed the weight back and lift the arms up and turn. Left toes turn in. Right toes turn out, and we take the weight into the right foot as we scoop, both hands together, down. Turn the right toes in, which brings the weight more into center. Feed a little into left to bring the right foot back to shoulder width, and the right hand comes under the right hand comes under left. Turn the palms face down, slide the hands down, feed right, close left, and like you're letting the pressure off, release, relax down through your body, into the feet, into the floor, and a heel tap. Good. Now I'm going to show you that facing you. Again, I'm not going to mirror it, I'm just going to show you what that little sequence looks like. So I'm going to show you apparent close up, and gather and close. So, apparent close up. Left in, right out. Weight is more right as you scoop. Toes point forwards, brings the weight back to center. Weight left, little step. Palms face down. Glide the hands down, fill right. Close left, recover, and a heel tap. Good. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but as I do apparent close up, I do a slight turn of my body, slight, to the right, and then back to center. And this is something that I noticed my teacher was doing, though he didn't actually teach it. And I asked him one day, I said, you're turning slightly to the right if you watch. Slightly to the right and back again. Now I exaggerated that, it's less than that, but if you watch again, slightly to the right and slightly. And I said, is that right? Should we be turning? He says, yeah, you can, yeah. So that's what he was doing, but he wasn't teaching it. He was just going circle back, circle forwards. But it somehow, for me, it felt like it gave it more power, because again, everything in Tai Chi is circles and turning. So yes, you're doing a circle this way, but what's the center doing? Should it just be going back and forwards? Actually, by that little rotation and then back to center, it gives it more power. So if you want, you can add that little rotation. If it feels better just to go back and go forwards, no problem, that's fine. But if you want to add that little bit of rotation and forwards, I think it's a nice little finesse, and it does give it an edge. It gives it a little bit of power. So let us practice those last couple of movements of the form. So we will do apparent close up, gather, and close. Ready? Left foot forwards. Right hand punch, left hand bracing, and left hand underneath. Cycle back and in. Cycle forwards and in. Arms up, left toes in, right toes out, weight more right as you scoop. Right toes face forwards, brings you center. Half step, palms face down, arms down, feet right, close left. Let the pressure off, the whole body should decompress, relax down into the floor, and a heel tap. Good, and again. Yeah. Ready? And very good. A little nuance for the apparent close up. You can breathe in on the way back and hold. Breathe out on the way forwards and hold. So you get two little breath holds. I think it's nice to sort of sealing in the back, sealing in the front. Let's do it again. Ready? Try and get as close as I can and still be in full screen. Ready? And then keep breathing. One more time. And then we'll warm down. Ready? And very well done. Now, when it comes to breath guidance, the most important thing is that you're breathing and that it feels natural. So if I give you a guidance, either in Qigong or in Tai Chi, and you're going, I can't breathe that way, or you're having to really focus to the detriment of flow or relaxation or anything like that, don't worry about it, just breathe. As long as you're breathing, that's fine. So actually the thought of sealing in your good energy is far more important than actually holding your breath or squeezing any muscles or anything like that. It's not important. Even at one stage, I was taught that there were 3 things that should be up in Tai Chi: the top of your head, the tip of your tongue, and your pelvic floor muscles. And every day, in fact, every class, every day for years, I was told these things must be up. And so I'd be kind of pulling my pelvic floor muscles up. And one day I was in a master class with Chen Yin Jun, and I said to him, you know, you never talk about that. Why do you never talk about that? And I got that terrifying response, who told you to do that? I was like, oh. I was like, well, you know, so I didn't want to get anyone in trouble, and didn't really know what was going on. He said, don't do any of that, don't do that. The top of the head up, everything else sorts itself out. So actually, you will notice, especially if you're doing standing practice, your pelvic floor muscles just get stronger. They do, they just get stronger. If you are lengthening up here and everything else is releasing down, energy is pooling between your legs and strengthening your core and your pelvic floor. So there's no need to do any of this business. No, you don't need to do that. I'm not sure about the tongue. I think maybe he's expecting you to have your tongue in the right position. So if you're interested in tongue positions, you can look up a thing called mewing, which is not Tai Chi, but is almost identical to what I have been taught in other teachers' classes about tongue position. So I'm a little on the fence about the tongue position. I'll maybe talk again with Master Chen about it. I'm a little shy to ask after that sort of dressing down I got. Who told you to do that? Don't be doing that. But yeah, so I'd be interested to hear your experience if you've been told about where to place your tongue and the importance of placing your tongue. Yeah, it's interesting because not everybody's tongue fits easily in their mouths. I think mine is often a bit bigger than it should be, and it doesn't easily go into that natural top of palate position. Anyway, let us gently wind down. So well done, we have covered the whole of the 24 form this year, somewhat sporadically with various other wee forms. We've been looking at the Immortals occasionally, no, not the Immortals, sorry, the 7 Stars, and the Phoenix on occasion as well. And it would be great if you keep them going. And have some brainstorming, please, as to what you would like to do next year. Having put this much effort into the 24, I would like to at least go through the 24 with you once every week. But it would be nice to continue to practice and clarify any points on the 24. But let me know, please, in the WhatsApp group, or at least have it to hand. So next time, I have an idea what you would like from the class. Go down the legs, please. All the way down and up again. Good, even chest and shoulders if it's comfortable to do so. Good, and back to center. And do you remember your little belly dance exercise? So bending one leg and straightening the other, and see if you can speed it up, and speed it up, and speed it up until you are vibrating. It takes a little bit of practice. Good. And slow it down. Good. And let's lift the hands nice and floppy and gently bounce. So 100 ailments go away. Similar idea of creating a vibration flowing through the whole body. And relax down. And we're going to finish with 3 breaths. And on the 3rd breath at the top, we're going to hold our breath, pushing the fingers into the sky, pushing the toes into the earth, sealing in the resonance of good energy. Are we ready? Deep breath. Hold the breath at the top, press your fingers into the sky, press your toes gently into the earth. Think of sealing in your good energy. And release, breathing out, guiding the hands to cover center. Hug your elbows in. And breathe now. Let the hands guide your awareness back into your center. This is refilling your cup, directing your energy back, recharging the batteries, calming, quietening, returning to that one point in the very center. And feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me both today and this year. I look forward to seeing you in the new year, and I wish you all a very lovely holiday season. Let's take right hand in fist, left hand straight together, and Shia Samha. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you in the new year.